She moved in the solemn lamplight of the cluttered house, like the vague figure of a troubled dream. She shuffled from room to room, opening drawers and closet doors, and picking up things and putting them into the grocery sack. No sense or order in the gathering. A random ring and a broken bracelet from a spilled jewelry box. One shoe. A ragged notebook from the bottom of a stack of other ragged notebooks. 2 postcards from a long-dead sister. A handful of hair clips. A small wooden picture frame that held the rudimentary drawing of an angel that had been created by her child decades before. She wore a thin housecoat that hung on her aged and slender figure, her gray hair in a matted mess. She talked to herself as she moved throughout the house, reminding herself of errands that had been years ago completed and gossiping about people she no longer knew and singing fragments of songs that had once played on the radio during the summer days of her small-town youth. In doorways, she would stop and look into the shadows and touch the tip of her index finger to her chin and hold it there in troubled thought, and then she would begin again to fill the sack with the random fragments of time gone by. At the end of the hallway, the closet door was open, and the contents overflowed and spilled out onto the floor as if the house was regurgitating its own clutter. The pace of her rambling quickened as she dropped to her knees and began to dig into the closet as if just remembering something essential, her arms thin and weak, but working in a sudden fever as she pushed away dirty towels and newspapers and shoeboxes, and she burrowed into the closet. At the bottom of the pile she found a red tin coffee can, and she opened the top and felt inside and touched the roll of cash. She kept digging, and she pulled out 3 more coffee cans from beneath the rubble, and each one held a roll of cash of various size. A savings hidden away and then forgotten and then remembered again in the swirling winds of her mind. She dropped the rolls of money into the grocery sack with the random gathering, ran her fingers across her pallid face. Her eyes like deep-set windows into a sprawling world. She seemed to gather herself, and she let out a great exhale as if arriving at a moment of resignation. She stood and straightened her housecoat, stepped out of her slippers and brushed off her ashy feet, and then she stepped back into them, and she tucked the grocery sack under her arm, and she made for the front door. She opened it, and the night wind greeted her, and she gazed out into the darkness, a traveler readied for some journey.